So for any out-of-towners or anyone else who's been living under a rock and might have missed the reference in the name of my presentation, Wellington was named the world's coolest little capital by Lonely Planet in 2011. So of course that must mean that wellingtonnz.com is the coolest, not so little capital website. It's also one of New Zealand's most successful destination websites. Over the past 12 months, we've had more than 2.6 million visitors. In May last year, we replaced our well-loved but rather dated website and separate mobile site with a striking, image-rich, immersive design created by local agency DNA. That looks fantastic, no matter what device you're using. And, as well as a new look and feel, the scope of the site shifted from tourism-focused to becoming a single hub for those wanting to visit, live, work, study, do business, or invest in Wellington. Maybe you might recognise one of your Lego characters from your swag bag there. This change in scope was first set in motion when Wellington City Council approved the Destination Wellington program back in 2012. The objective of the Destination Wellington program was to combine the expertise of Positively Wellington Tourism and Grow Wellington to build on the city's tourism marketing success in order to strengthen, celebrate, and further develop the city's economy. When the program was launched, Wellington had at least 4 distinct brands, 7 websites, and 11 supporting sites. As you can imagine, this was not particularly efficient to manage and meant that we were missing a key opportunity to present a cohesive vision of Wellington to the world. And it just didn't make sense from a user perspective either. As part of the site relaunch, we carried out persona research work on 7 key audience groups, which highlighted that our users do not make the decisions in isolation. Many of the reasons that students come to Wellington, or that a business event organiser chooses the city as their host destination, are the same as the reasons that tourists come. A compact and accessible inner city and waterfront, world-class events and attractions, a buzzing restaurant and cafe scene, and the daily fuel of quality coffee. So what have we learned along the way? Here's 4 findings that have helped us to deliver one digital platform that enables users to discover why Wellington is a great place to live, visit, study, work, or do business in. Now bear with me here. Number 1 is embrace the Listicles. Research has shown that it's an innate human characteristic to be drawn to information that is broken down into discrete categories, something that the Journal of Consumer Research calls the top 10 effect. Our site analytics certainly support this phenomenon, as our top 10 must-dos page is consistently our most frequently viewed page. This is despite the page receiving little to no paid promotion. Now, while the top 10 format is a natural fit for tourism-focused things to see and do content, we decided to apply this format to content enticing users to work, do business, and invest in Wellington. To give an example of this, we rewrote a content page explaining the benefits of working in Wellington and changed the title from Why You Should Work in Wellington to Top Reasons to Work in Wellington. This resulted in an increase of 283% in page views compared to the previous year, and a 123% increase compared to the previous period. On top of that, this increase was predominantly from organic traffic. Listicles get a pretty bad rap, largely due to their proliferation on certain sites known for churning out superficial clickbait. But ultimately, a list is just a format which can be applied to almost any kind of content. And if that format captures your user's attention enough to encourage them to then delve further into your site's content, It surely can't be a bad thing. As suggested by the title of my presentation, WellingtonNZ.com is a not-so-little site with thousands of pages of content. We complement our carefully crafted editorial content with several listing databases. Despite having a relatively small team of web editors, we managed to keep the listing content on the site fresh, up-to-date and accurate by pulling content via APIs from other sites that are leaders in their respective fields. This is why, at times, it's important to let others be the experts. We pull event listings from Event Finder, eat and drink listings from Zomato, and residential and commercial property and business for sale listings from TradeMe. By freeing up our web editors from managing the basic details of this listing content, they are then able to focus on enhancing the relevance and richness of the information available to each of our users. To illustrate one example of this, Zomato, who are one of our API providers, do an efficient job of collating restaurant and cafe location details, opening hours, and menus. But they steer clear of adding any subjective commentary outside of user reviews, and they only photograph empty establishments. On the other hand, we believe that personality, atmosphere, not to mention a wee bit of food styling, are essential elements in the decision-making process of where to get a burger in Wellington. But I'll just leave this here for you to decide. Of course, while rich, immersive design is enticing and wonderful to look at, it's important that design doesn't get in the way of users completing tasks. Which brings me to point 3, stand up, but know when to step in line. We realised that the redesigned WellingtonNZ.com had departed too far from convention when our on-site accommodation and activity bookings dropped following the relaunch of the site. Although we don't aim to compete with the scale and discount pricing of the major booking sites, it was still a concern that those users who did prefer the reassurance of booking through a destination website were now being discouraged. We host a combination of both online bookable and non-bookable accommodation listings on WellingtonNZ.com, depending on the agreement that we have with the listing provider. On our old site, we displayed a bookable accommodation options in the comparison table towards the end of the accommodation section landing page. During the site redesign, the decision was made to display all listing search results, both bookable and non-bookable, in exactly the same way. The reason for this was to provide a simple, clear interface for users to easily find information. Rates and date availability for booking listings can be found by expanding this information on both the search results and the listing detail page. However, this meant that users could no longer directly compare accommodation options, which subsequent research showed was a key factor in the drop in site bookings. To remedy this, we looked back at the success of our old site, as well as the functionality of the major booking sites. This time it was clear that it was important to step in line with convention. We made a few simple changes that included reinstating the booking comparison grid to our accommodation section landing page and the accommodation search results above the non-bookable search results. These changes were implemented in September last year, and the number of on-site bookings picked up following the change. Conversion rate optimization is, of course, an ongoing process of tweaking, testing, and refining. And while there's no doubt that further improvement could be made, we were happy to see the online booking performance pick up compared to the previous year. And now to my last point, eliminate the debate. We've just completed a fresh round of user testing with our key user groups. And one of the issues that came up across all groups was how users were interacting with our top-level navigation. Following advice from design and IA experts during the site redesign, we made the decision to organise navigation for each section within a large mega menu. The mega menu opens as an overlay upon click, rather than hover or upon touch on mobile, so that the mega menu options can be viewed without the user leaving their current location, a second click or touch within the overlay as they're needed to navigate to the relevant section landing page. Over time, we received occasional feedback internally that this wasn't how people expected the mega menu to work. And since the relaunch, there's been a fair bit of debate as to whether this was the right solution or not. The recent user testing has allowed us to eliminate this debate, as we could observe that users were also being confused by the action of the mega menu. Of even greater concern was that this meant users frequently missed the section landing pages altogether, which in turn impacted on how they could find information and understand the structure of the site. This experience showed that it's important to trust your gut when you have an idea that something's not working, because then through user testing it's possible to reveal even greater learnings. So there's the 4 findings that have helped us to deliver one digital platform that enables users to discover why Wellington is a great place to live, visit, study, work, or do business in. But before I go, there's one more point I should add. We're pretty proud of our coolest, not so little capital website. The site received a bronze in the Best Awards in 2014 and 2015, and was a finalist in the Tourism Awards in 2015. So, embrace the listicles, let others be the experts, stand out, but know when to step in line, eliminate the debate, and be well proud. Cheers.